Hello and welcome to Wise Children's Podcast. It is Sunday and I'm sat here with Simon Baker, Wise Children's Technical Director and award-winning sound designer, and also my partner, who's dragged me out of my bed on a Sunday to do a podcast. Simon, why am I here?
Feels unfair to say I dragged you out of bed. It's gone 11. But I have made you come to the office, which is colder than I was imagining it was going to be, by the way. Why are we here? Because I read that the key to a successful podcast was consistency.
Oh.
And I think the last one we did was in September.
Wow.
So if content's king, I feel we're losing the battle.
And if consistency is king, we're well and truly done for, aren't we?
Yeah, we're in trouble. But I thought it was a little while. But it's Sunday, and tomorrow we start rehearsals for Little Matchgirl at the Lucky Chance.
I know, I'm trying to be all cool, but I honestly feel like it's Christmas Eve. I can't quite describe it. I mean, you know this because I've been like stupidly happy, haven't I, for days. I'm quite a happy person, but we've been doing quite a lot of miserable things that we shall get onto in a minute. But in spite of doing quite a lot of miserable, physical, practical, dirty things, I've been skipping around like a kid because, oh gosh, I want to be dramatic and not dramatic at exactly the same time. I sort of feel that my whole working life has been aiming towards tomorrow. Oh, I'm going to cry. I think it's amazing. I've got my own company filled with the people I love and respect and need most in the world. And we've bought our own space in the town that I live in, and we're converting it into a theatre. And I'm going to pull together a team of people, old and new, who are like fellow dreamers and naughty people and creative stars of my life. And we're going to do something with our community, for our community. There's only 60 tickets, so it's sold out. So, I mean, it's one of those things, you know, you have to be here to be here. And it's in many ways what I've always dreamed of. I didn't dream it would be this. I didn't dream it would be in Frome. I didn't dream it would be at this moment in my life. But if you look back at the people that have inspired me, whether it's Joan Littlewood or Pina Bausch or Garjanica Theatre Association in Poland or Théâtre du Soleil in France, this is it. And it's sort of not grand, but that's why I love it. It's ours and we're working our fingers to the bone. But I should let you speak in a minute, because the reality is my fingers aren't worked to the bone, but yours are, because you have taken on or been given the challenge, you can decide which, of converting this disused church into a rehearsal room and now theatre.
Yeah, well, it's not just me. There's quite a few of us around. Jay Jones, I can't remember his official title at Wise Children. Events producer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can't remember what we said on the last podcast, but there's a way of doing these projects, which is you follow all the REBA stages of development. So you
REBA,
kind of,
what's that?
Well, REBA, I can't remember. I knew you were going to test me on that. It's like the British architectural guidelines of how you build a project.
Royal Institute of British Architects.
Let's go with that.
I've made that up, but I think it sounds about right.
Someone will write in. So you follow all the stages, and I've sort of been involved in those projects. You know, in stage 1 is you workshop with the client and find out what their needs are, and in stage 2 you go away and design a scheme, and then you take it to the next process of designing it, and then you have it costed, and then somebody comes in and costs it for you and tells you where you've gone wrong. And there's I think there's sort of 10 stages until you actually hit a build. And we could have done that, and we could have, and then we'd have found out how much this thing was going to be and how much it's going to cost, and then we'd have gone away and fundraised for it. And about 5 years later, we'd be exactly where we are now, but it would have cost us 10 times the amount. So
to have not done anything.
To have not done anything. And when we bought the place, we thought, well, we can make it work. The space we can make work. And then we sort of slowly, inch by inch, decided what it could be and sort of developed it over the last year to where we are now. But it has meant that in order to be able to achieve it, both financially and within the timeline, we've just done it all ourselves, which is a bit crazy and probably a bit egotistical maybe, that we sort of took on these things and don't really know what we're doing. But on Monday, we will rehearse a show, and in 3 weeks' time we will let the audience in. And there have been periods through this year I thought, we're never going to make this. This is crazy. We're going to run out of money. There's things we just don't know how to do. But actually, last Tuesday afternoon, I thought, we are going to make this deadline.
What happened on Tuesday afternoon?
Well, Tuesday afternoon, we loaded in... Well, we should rewind a little bit because it's been a bit crazy. But Tuesday afternoon was a big day for me because we loaded in the set for the first... We loaded in our first set and put it in. And that was a bit stressful because we've never designed a set before.
I don't know why you're saying we. It's you.
Well, we never...
I mean, I helped you with the concept, but
Yeah.
I did none of the drawings.
But it's all that stuff, we sort of drew it and then we're drawing it in a new space. So, is it going to fit? Is it going to get round all the various doors? Can we get the truck outside on time? Can we get it bolted together? And will it fit was my big stress. And then I lost confidence on Monday night, on the eve before it arrived. And I said to Jay, I think I've made it too tall. But it's not too tall. It might be a little bit too tall, actually.
I'm giggling a little bit. It's a tiny bit tall, but only a tiny bit.
But anyway, we got it in. But that was the sort of first time I thought, there is a setting, there is a lighting rig up in the air, there's a PA up in the air, the bar's 90% finished. So I suddenly thought, it feels like we're going to make this now. Whereas 3 weeks ago, I was pretty doubtful we were going to
I've never had any doubts, but then that's me, isn't it? I just thought, that's theatre. I mean, I want to say 9 times out of 10, but it's pretty much 10 times out of 10 you do open. So I sort of, and because I've got the best team in the world around me, and I don't think I ever had a doubt.
Well, I think we always thought we could do the show. I was never worried, or I'm not particularly worried about getting the show on, because I think you and the acting company and all of us, we can do the show. So it's the sort of everything else that was getting us down a bit. But it's in, the set's in. It's been a crazy since I think we last did one of these in September. We are probably still talking about the same amount of craziness, but since then we've workshopped 2 shows in there, I think.
Yes, at least, yeah.
Because we did Bluebeard, we did a rehearsal Bluebeard, and then we did another. We've been trying out some other things for you, haven't we, with the ensemble, and then that finished, and rather rudely, because I kind of got everybody to arrive at 4:30, and you weren't really finishing till 5, so there was sort of lots of crashing and banging around going as you were trying to finish up a workshop, and we put our lighting rig up for the first time. We put a PA up for the first time. We managed to work out where all the cable was going to go, and then had a clear floor ready for Dave Haraway and the Bristol Vic team to load in our new shiny Little Matchgirl set. So it's been quite the bumpy.
But even that makes me feel so happy, because I don't think for a minute I am not understanding how much this has taken and how much work it's been. But we've also pulled in favours, and I do feel like I'm in a 1950s children's book, where not only have we said, come on, let's make a show, but actually, because we're not children and we're not in the 1950s, all of us have called up our friends. It's been like phone a friend, hasn't it, saying, can you help, what have you got? And the amount of goodwill we've come across has been really touching, hasn't it? Like you say, our friends at the Bristol Old Vic, and friends that have lent us their time or their ideas. It's been amazing.
Yeah, we should name a few of them, really, because there was Paul runs a team at Sparks, which is a lighting hire company who I've known for a while, and Lawrence Russell, who's a production electrician, which works with us on when we're touring shows and works with Malcolm Rippeth, our lighting designer. They donated so much kit to us, and there's a few other manufacturers that have donated kit to us.
Oh, big shout out!
Which has been really brilliant.
Are they all going to come?
I think they're all going to come. Yeah, Lawrence is coming back, and I'll invite Paul. Phil Hurley at Stage Sound did us a sort of fantastic bargain basement deal, given how busy Stage Sound are over Christmas, and literally have no equipment. And I said, come on, lend me some stuff. And they did, and it turns up on a truck from Cardiff. Dave Harroway, Bristol Vic, has been brilliant and a sort of source. I love Dave because he's always enthusiastic, even at our lowest moment. He kind of always does sort of walk in and say, well, this is going to be marvellous. Go, really, David? Because it feels like that wall's going to fall down. So he's been very good. Lots of other contractors have been great. JC Joels, who do drapes and fabric, have sort of done us amazing deals.
But it's been touching, hasn't it? The amount of energy around the place and goodwill.
Yeah.
But I need to take you back on something, because the other thing that I am secretly tickled pink by is, if you look at our sort of team, yourself, me, Poppy Keeling, Jay Jones, we at the beginning we said we're going to do this on a shoestring. We're going to, we're not going to spend loads of money. This has to make financial sense. But then all of us have got really high standards in different areas.
Yeah.
And all of us have secretly and sort of manipulatively pushed our areas, which means the whole project has just gone up and up in scale and standard. So we have the most epic bar with an equally epic coffee machine with ground coffee, because
Jay insisted we bought one.
Jay insisted that we had to have the best coffee machine that there is in order to have a great bar. And you've designed this amazing bar, which feels ludicrous. Let's talk about it. It feels like at this point in the company's history, building a bar that big and fancy feels a little bit silly. But there is no storage at the church, and that's what you've kept saying is, where's everything going to go? So actually, this bar is going to last us for the next 20 years. So you've built something that will really see us through and create a really enviable space, which is just amazing. But I've pushed through quite a significant set.
You have.
With velvet curtains.
Yeah.
I keep sort of with an amazing lighting rig, because at one point there was going to be just one lighting state.
Yeah.
And I looked so crestfallen, didn't I? Like, how's that possible?
Yeah.
So all of us have pushed and pushed and pushed.
I know, in every area. I think that was the thing, is that it sort of probably should have been like an old school village hall show. That should have been the scale we were working at, and we could have done it really easily. But I also think it's much more about investing in the future. Really, I think the bar is kind of ludicrous today, in that we've put an awful lot of, we haven't, it's surprisingly not a huge amount of money into it, but it's kind of beautiful. It's been custom built for us by Russ Billing at Bar Fab in Oldham. And they've done such a beautiful job on it. And Jamie has been carcassing it out.
Our master carpenter, who's been amazing.
He's been absolutely brilliant and never stops working. But I think once Little Matchgirl's done and we've learnt how that space works, we have got an amazing place to either open it up for the local community to use for events, and we've also got a space that we can use for other more corporate style events, because of course we have to keep funding it somehow. So there's a kind of eye on what the future is. So if we had done the sort of trestle tables and cloths and bottles of wine, that would have been great, and it would have been really enjoyable, but it would have only got us till Christmas,
and it would have been gone. I know. Yeah. I wouldn't be feeling like Christmas Eve if we were just doing a village horse show. It feels, and I feel this is where Wise Children is at its best, which is that we're really ambitious, aren't we? We don't talk about it much. We don't use the A word much, but it's what we are. So when we decided to open a show at Christmas, none of us are willing to let it be anything other than spectacular and meaningful and superb. And even I was thinking, because Poppy's got her own bit of quality that she brings, all our wine and booze, well, that's Jay and Poppy, isn't it, is going to be locally sourced, craft, really low environmental footprint, but beautiful. And in fact, it is true to say, isn't it, that on Friday night we had to taste the alcohol for the bar.
We decided we'd finished work. It'd been a really long day, it'd been a really long week, and we thought, well, we'd do something special. And the one thing we'd forgotten to buy for the bar was a corkscrew, which nobody had realised until about 9 o'clock when we'd stopped working.
Oh, but then I feel that there's something so traditional about that, because also we're having stopped working to taste these wines, we then had no corkscrew. And you came, you said you'd get it, and nobody stopped you.
No.
So you drove to the office, couldn't find one, drove
Yeah.
back to our house,
Found one.
and came back. But by that point, we'd already done all the
You were
beers.
drunk.
We were drunk. We'd gone through all the beers.
I'd only been gone about 30 minutes. But then I went down a classic rabbit hole, because I came back here thinking, oh, I've ordered corkscrews, it should all be here. And then I just caught myself going through my order from Nisbets and finding, oh, I haven't ordered half the things I thought I'd ordered.
Oh, that's living the dream. When you're going back through your order from Nisbets, that's nice when you need to take a day off. Which, can I just say again, we're not doing.
This is our day off.
No, but look, we're doing a podcast.
Yeah, but what were we going to do in reality?
We're also going back to the church to finish the clear up.
We are going back to the church because it's not quite as sparkly as it should be for the acting company to turn up tomorrow.
We did a massive day yesterday for me.
Yeah.
And that's because the cess has gone in. Now, for those of you that presume, I bet almost everybody listening to this is a theatre person. But if you're not, what tends to happen with theatre shows is you rehearse in an ordinary room and then you all go into the theatre and you start working on the set. But for Little Matchgirl, and partly because it's the get-in's really difficult because of our timeline, we built the set before rehearsals. So the set has gone in, that's what Simon was just talking about. But there's still a lot of building work. The bar isn't finished. We've had a lot of technical workers in there. We've got all the props and costumes turned up. So yesterday we did a massive sort out, a massive clean. You were shouldering, the organs come out. Gosh, we haven't even talked about that. Oh my God. Let's save that for a moment. We're to clean up after the organ coming out. You were underneath the steel deck. I don't know what you were messing around with. And I decided that I was going to clear the path. So our church has got a side entrance, which comes off a public footpath, and it's very overgrown, and there's often a lot of litter, and it feels a little bit scary, and it's been bothering me that it's going to feel a little bit scary for our audience. And I've been really wishing that somebody would do it. And I think yesterday was the day when I thought, the sun is shining. This is a really difficult job. Nobody else is going to do it. So I took it upon myself. I cleared 5 massive sort of trugs of moss and weeds, cut back all the overhanging stuff. And we've put festoon outside. And suddenly it's really welcoming. But it was slightly crazy. And my poor old body... My knees were aching last night. Both our backs had gone, hadn't they? But we'd put in a massive day yesterday. And we do have to go back today. Just pointing out that this day off is not a day off.
Yeah, it's kind of a day off. But yeah, we have got to go back and do a bit of tidying. And it was a big day yesterday. We had my crew yesterday were Emma Rice and Poppy Keeling.
Woo!
Jay...
Best crew in the world.
Jay had to take a day off because he had to do some parenting.
Did come in though.
But yeah, of course he came in, and he came in
Shout
with
out to Rosalie and Artie.
Yeah, who inspected the set, who were very concerned about health and safety. So they're quite a good test. So we took them through the set yesterday to make sure it was safe. No, the organ coming out, that was a big deal.
So, anybody who doesn't know this story, our church had a massive organ in the corner. Not a beautiful one, quite ugly, but panelled wood, huge, did work. And in fact, this time last year, we had people coming and people that could play. My friend Ruth was playing Christmas carols on the organ. And I wanted to keep it. I thought, oh, come on. If you buy a space with a huge organ in, let's keep it and play it, and we'll have organs in all the shows. And then we discovered there was asbestos in it, so it was actually pumping asbestos. Sorry, everybody that played it. So it had to be decommissioned, which then meant we had this massive bit of real estate in the corner of the room. So suddenly I don't want the organ anymore. And that's when you tried to sell it on eBay.
Yeah, I did try and do that.
How did that go?
We got a lot of views, I'd say, and no sales.
But you did,
actually, somebody did sell it. Somebody did buy it at one point.
It did get sold for about 3 minutes. Somebody obviously was sort of sleepy or drunk.
And then they sort of said, "Oh, we didn't realise you didn't deliver." I think, how are we going to? The whole point of this is to get it out. Yeah, I mean the asbestos thing. It's not as bad as it sounds.
Okay.
the motor that housed the blowing chamber was encased in asbestos. So we
It
sort of
sounds
had
pretty
to,
bad.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I'm just trying to play it down a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, we didn't.
I don't think we've been
everybody.
blowing asbestos around the room for the
Okay.
last
But
year.
it was decommissioned.
Yeah.
So you tried on eBay. I tried to see if the reclamation place wanted it. They didn't want it.
They weren't interested.
We went to every charity, organ charity.
Which is quite a few. We went to quite a lot of
Yeah.
organ newsletters.
They didn't want it either.
No.
But eventually, what did you find?
Well, I didn't. Steph Curtis, our general manager, found an organ removal company.
Sounds medical, doesn't it? But it's not. It's a church organ.
And I, for the life of me, can't remember where they are. They're in Hertfordshire or Herefordshire. I get those two confused. Anyway, definitely a place beginning with H. And they were called Go Organs. And over the last weekend and this Friday, I can't remember when it was. Was it Friday?
Friday, yeah.
They came and took the organ out. And it was huge. It was much more complicated than I thought it was going to be.
Unbelievably complicated
Really
thing to do.
But they took it out really, really carefully because it's going to a new home.
It's going to a church in Willesden, I
It's
think.
going to a church in Willesden, yeah.
Which is great. I mean, it is great because it felt sort of really... We knew we didn't want it, but it felt really wrong to... It's not rubbish. It's a beautiful thing with history and music at its core. So I'm delighted it's got a new
And they're amazing bits of engineering. So,
But
yeah,
it has
it's-
turned our space... It's transformed it, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's
Because
really
the
opened
two
it up.
things you've done as our sort of space designer is to get rid of the organ, which took up one corner, but also moved the staircase, which was sort of set into the room,
Yeah.
to the side of the room. And now it's suddenly this handsome rehearsal room, studios, theatre. It's like Christmas Eve. It really is. It really is. What else should we talk about before everybody falls asleep with boredom? Little Matchgirl.
Little Matchgirl.
It's going to be so magical. It's
Yeah.
going to be so magical.
And that's the version you did originally at
Yeah.
Shakespeare's Globe.
So I did it at Shakespeare's Globe and then remade it for a tour.
Yeah.
Magnificently, we didn't either write down the script for that tour or video it. So it's being remade again. I'm not doing all the stories. I'm going to reconceive it. We've changed the music. Ian Ross is writing the music. I've written some lyrics. So it isn't, if you think you've seen it, it is going to be recognisable but different. And like I say, it feels unbelievably like the beginning. It feels like Wise Children, we've been going 5 years now that we've got a space. And once you've got space, you have to fill it. And this is what we're going to fill it with, is gorgeous nights of joy that are very meaningful as well. You know, the thing about Little Matchgirl is it's deeply political. But that's also, you know, it reminds me of what we want from Christmas. We do want to be entertained. We want to laugh. We want to be with family, be with friends. And also remember how lucky we are and those that are less lucky. And I think the Little Matchgirl sort of encapsulates that.
No, I think it's going to be great. And we're starting with some... so there's a kind of soft opening, isn't there? There's a sort of friends and family thing. And then I think we do some local community school shows, don't we?
We are. We've been
start
working with Jess
those.
Frankham from Frome County Council. Not county. Town Council.
Town Council.
And we've got some school shows. I think we've got some young carers coming in.
Yeah.
I think we've got some Ukrainian families that I'm very excited about. We'll do another podcast about that. But
Yeah.
we're really throwing open the doors with the help of Frome Town Council to really make sure that this space isn't elite or exclusive, that we're going to be making the best theatre of our lives, but it has to be shared, and it has to be shared with our friends and our community.
So we should get your fluffy mic back and you should do some bits and pieces next week.
I found Fluffy Mike this morning.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's weird, because I think it's over there. There must be two.
Yeah, right. I'm not
Well,
going to say
okay.
where it is, but
All
I
right.
think I know where it is. Yeah, let's take out Fluffy Mike.
So
And I promise you, Simon Baker, that I will do a podcast a week. How about that?
Let's do it. I think that would be really good. So we'll be back here 11 o'clock next Sunday. We're probably working next Sunday, aren't we?
No.
Is it a day off?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, next Sunday, 11 o'clock.
This is the new beginning. This is where we don't knacker our knees and our backs and work 7 days a week.
Oh, I look forward
You've done
to
that. You've done it.
Yeah.
And
All right.
can I just take a moment to say thank you?
Oh. Well, don't make me cry.
I won't make you cry, but...
As I say, it's a really big, very loyal, slightly crazy team.
It is, but it's been led by you, and I feel that you've made me a theatre, which is ultimately all a girl called Emma Rice wants. and because we live together and work together, I've also seen the hours that it's taken and the stress it's taken and the toll it's taken. So that's how we're going to leave this podcast. Thank you for listening, everybody. Tune in next week. There's going to be another scintillating episode, and